Now, it's not every day that you come across a marimba specialist, someone who's a percussionist, someone who really travels the world and talks all things music and music education. And it also sounds like you teaching music is really something in you.
Yeah, it's not. I'm not going to lie. It's not me sitting down and saying I'm going to read this and I'm going to understand it and go teach it. It's what my soul says I must deliver. That you hear through the students that I teach. You know.
Sure. And you've also performed with people. I mean, you've performed with really cool DJs and stuff.
Yeah.
Who have you performed with, Philippine?
Back then, I remember this one booking or performance, Afternoon Sunset. Glenn Zito is there. But Glenn was not very open to, sharing because he plays quality stuff
Yeah,
that
he does.
shouldn't be disturbed by anything.
Yeah, he doesn't compromise music.
Yeah.
Sure.
But I ended up joining his set there. So I did a few performances continuously as Otto, and his brand was growing.
Yeah.
I did a few performances with him. I did a very weird gig, le choice, DJ Choice Kabelo ko in Zanzibar.
That's cool.
Tanzania, Locx Mmileng.
We're all about sharing the facts and teaching the tricks. Let's talk all things about music, the life of music. Let's engage about the rhythm. Let's talk about our passion for melodies, sound, and those beautiful classics. Let's get educated about these decibels we oh so dearly love. On this podcast, we talk about these politics. Welcome to Music Politricks. Sanbonani dumelang kere ekse nakalina ke nabusi baba kulu baba dese bareke the queen of Pitori, and welcome to another episode of Music Politricks. This is where we talk all things music, some things you may know, mara look man, we get the right people to really just delve into the matters when it comes to the music. We are sharing the facts and of course learning all the tricks. A big shout out to everybody who keeps reviewing us and doing the right thing there on Apple Podcasts as well as on Spotify. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to press that subscribe button. Make sure the notification bell is on and comment. Just share knowledge and also just let us know who you would like to see or what kind of information do you just saba well to have. Now, it's not every day that you come across a marimba specialist, someone who's a percussionist, someone who really travels the world and talks all things music and music education. So a big shout out to Marky Batung, Mr. Locx. How are you doing?
What's up?
What's up?
Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Shout out,
Yeah, shout
man.
out to you. You're
Thank-
doing great stuff.
Thank you. Thank you for coming
For
through.
sure.
I wasn't sure if, I was like, yo, no, man, but you're doing dope stuff. I
Yeah.
have to try.
Yeah.
I have to ask.
I'm here.
Yeah.
To share.
Yeah, which is really cool, man. I mean, you come from Spain just now.
Yeah. Hey, Spain. It was a rush.
Yeah.
Kind of organization for me to be a part of.
Yeah.
Through an international teachers association called the Off Schulwerk
Okay.
Association for Music Teachers. So
Okay.
I've been a part of it for a couple of years.
Okay.
And yeah, I think I was just lucky enough amongst the South African delegation to be chosen to be part of this summer course,
Okay.
which was in Madrid.
Mm.
And I can't get into too much detail because these people, it's a very private-ish association, so
Okay.
dropping names maybe won't make sense for our South African viewers, but there were jams of music educators there. And it was a week's course where I got to be taught by these great musicians and educators. Um, and I got to do a workshop.
That's cool.
The problem now was that everything was in Spanish.
Yeah, no hablo español.
Eh, boy. Ke gopola fela bo ola, le bo si,
Yeah.
but it was great. It was great. And I had an interpreter, which was good.
Okay.
An interpreter who was helping me to understand everything. And there was written work too, so assignments with this person. So I'm still overwhelmed by the help from the people who were assisting me that side. Yeah,
So why is so private association alone?
not
Like,
even private.
yeah.
It's not well known.
Oh,
you know,
okay, okay.
and it's very optional. That much I've picked up in schools. It's a very optional approach of teaching. You know, it's a style of teaching music. So yeah, it's not for everyone, but it works for us, especially because we work with. I work across the board from your grade ones to matrix, so it helps you balance knowing how to approach um, the thought process.
Okay, cool.
You know,
Okay, cool.
it's very gentle. It's very practical. It's very. It involves a lot of movement, a lot of singing. So I think they're trying to break the traditional way of learning music, where a child is just handed a sheet of music
Yeah.
and taught how to read music, and that's about it for the child at the end of the day to say, I did music. You know, they teach music in a very fun way. And yeah, because marimbas are, you know, also a practical tool, I think I was drawn to this association that I also don't want to um, get into teaching just by, you know, right, standing in front of kids.
Yeah.
This is what you're supposed to play.
Yeah.
Play it back to me.
Yeah.
Put the song together. Perform. You know, you get a very stagnant child who would think that performing is just me playing what I've been taught and that's it.
Yeah.
So the movement side, the comfortability that the child needs to have, especially when you're presenting. Everything that we do is audience based.
Sure.
You know,
Sure.
I always inform my especially my senior kids that we don't do this for fun. As much as it's fun, we are always preparing to present
Cool.
to an audience.
Cool.
Majority of the time being the parents, yeah.
Sure, and everything is a rehearsal basically.
Yeah.
Preparation all the way.
You know.
And I know you also perform, right? But it could have been easier, or rather, it's easy to just want to learn music and be a performer.
Yeah.
And you then went into the education of music.
Yeah.
Was it always like that? Did you always intend to go that direction?
Hey, it's a yeah. I'm going to give you a very personal and honest answer.
Cool.
You know, I picked up when I was younger that I kind of struggle with the stage. I had stage fright. you know.
Wow.
Which is a bit better now because you know when you're younger you're a bit more cautious of what you do in the audience, you know. So I wanted to do everything. I wanted to be the performer. In fact, from knowing how to and learning how to play marimbas, it triggered ke batla go nna celebrity, ke batla go nna celebrity percussionist, you know. But I struggled. I struggled in the sense that when I'm in a smaller circle, we're talking about it, I'd be the loud mouth.
Okay, cool.
But when we have to deliver, hey, it's like a woman, what.
Sure.
So I think I grew up as a problem child.
Okay,
It
still as
is-
no stood.
Hey, little screw. I was a bit of a menace,
Yeah.
and I gave my educators back then a tough time, you know. But starting teaching
Mm.
made me think back, Hore, you know, we put our teachers through so much,
Yeah, that's
you
true.
know, and I got the other end of it where I'm the one in class now,
Yeah.
you know, and now the respect for these teachers, Hore, you know, it wasn't easy,
Yeah.
you know. So to just finish off my answer for you, education and teaching kids what your philosophies of music are and they are presented was a better option because I'm more in the background,
Okay.
you know.
Okay.
Yeah, ke coach.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
I'm by the lines there, and the kids are the ones in front. Yeah.
And if we go back in time, you picked up, or I don't know if you picked them up at that time, but you really fell in love with the marimbas when you were in high school.
Uh, yeah, I did. Marimbas. We got exposed. Oh, I got exposed to them in primary school. It's on my fike. I'm a town boy. Halamanyora.
Yes.
Um, and we didn't honestly have a lot of options. So the first time I got exposed to this instrument ever was at a fun day at my primary school, Kusor Blackie. And my 2B high school, the band was playing go this fun day. Yes, I was stoked.
Yeah.
And le bona ba ira di moves nyana gopola ba dlala da bonthato gopane bo a kgomo playing sneneng go ntshiwa bo di-stock sweets
Yeah.
during the performance. The song stops. I was like, this is so cool, you know.
Yeah.
And I ended up at the same high school, and it was very difficult to get into that band.
Okay.
You know, go iriwa di-audition nna ke sure a ba mpona ke tsena fela gore problem, you know. But I got accepted into the band as young as I was, and stuck it through, and actually took on a leadership role, the captain and leaders, and I took on that role, I think, around grade 10. But that entailed you teaching.
Yeah.
Because another generation it's
Sure.
and it's root, you know. And I think I sort of understood how I can actually stand in front of someone and instruct, and they reciprocate what I need them to do, you know. But to be honest, I didn't think I would be where I am now.
Yeah.
You know, my parents wanted me to be something else.
Yeah.
My dad wanted me to be a civil engineer. Ke gopola ebile a e bua gore no ke batla go tsenya bo di-pipe crazy man o batla ke tsene bo di-overall, didn't not knowing what the profession was then, you
Yeah.
know. And how I ended up here was also a bit of a blessing, you know. I will continue to say my journey ha ya tsamaisiwa ke nna, you know, whatever universe and higher power that directed me to be where I am now, I'll forever be grateful for it. And it's a continuous journey. But how I got to Joburg, ke tla to visit my aunt, go Kibla Park. You'll be with your aunt for the week. Where are we going? No, you're going for orientations. Orientations, you know. So I felt like my parents are bullying me. Why can't they? Oh, I wanted to take a gap year.
Yeah.
Orientations. No, your aunt says there are these auditions go Vets University. Ke go ira go Vets University.
Yeah.
I ke batla university. Nna ke ipatlela bo di-college.
Yeah.
And I was, yeah, I got an opportunity to audition at Vets University. Got there. I don't have an instrument. Kitsanara, bana ba di violin, singers, you know,
Yeah.
people in the corridors, that these people have been doing this for years, you know. Sheet music. We don't use sheet music, you know. And I'm getting nervous for it. Okay, as the lines are moving forward, it feels like I'm going to be asked to produce a score of music.
Yeah.
You know, got there, got to
DreamStream, a place to create yourself. Record video, music, and podcasts in our full-service studio. Record video, music, and podcasts in our full-service studio. DreamStream, a place to create yourself.
play, but before I played, they didn't have the instrument, and it was totally different, a different design. We played on these traditional Zim ones,
Yeah.
and I asked for a break. Gore, Kopa, can I just practice on this thing?
Yeah.
Very nervous, not knowing what I was going to play. Just played one of our favorite songs, and I recall hearing applause in the corridors.
Wow.
But what's the fuss?
Wow.
And I didn't really get a call back. I think initially my folks wanted me to fix my matric results. So luckily the upgrading school was on the Vets campus, Star School. And I didn't get a call back. But on my way, my day-to-day walks in and out the campus, I met a guy, David Lepoto. God sent. I don't want to tell you lies, and ke sa ye ko go ene go bua. We just found ourselves having a very short conversation. And he asked me, "What do you do?" I told him, "Okay, I came here for marimbas. I did a marimba audition, but I'm here to upgrade my matric results, my matric subjects." And he got excited. Hey, we got a lecturer here who bought marimbas, and there's a teacher, and it's an old lady, old white lady, or rutang. Can you come to one of our rehearsals?
Wow.
Okay. Hopefully busy ka nna, so we set a day and a time. I don't show up. Like I'm freedom, I'm staying in Braamfontein. How my parents ban tshepa ya mona ba itse gore ke problem child go ntlogela mo Jozi. Yeah, and we met again at Amfit. We waited for you. You didn't show up. And I had a friend of mine who stayed in Bram, Chwaro. He kind of convinced me, dude, maybe this is your break. Let's go.
Yeah.
It's an island Chwaro. I can feel older people. The group was older than me. And language, and they actually know this music business, but David tried to calm me down, show us what you can do. He did the same song. But how can you do that? We learned these songs in high school, They started calling other friends of theirs who were studying music. You need to hear this guy.
Wow.
Then we chose a day. Can you teach us a song? In like 10 minutes, I'm done. The song, So their excitement is that with the person that was hired to teach them, it took them like a month or longer.
Yeah.
Obviously, not maybe an hour a week or something.
Sure. You can do it in 10 minutes.
10 minutes. And it was like pretty straightforward stuff, but very rhythmic, I thank my hood, Mafikeng, for instilling this art art. It became very natural to be creative with rhythm, because of what we were always exposed to in our cultural center, Kumabana.
And it also sounds like you teaching music is really something in you.
Yeah, it's not. I'm not going to lie. It's not me sitting down and saying I'm going to read this and I'm going to understand it and go teach it. It's what my soul says I must deliver. That you hear through the students that I teach. You know. Ke batla go fetsa se sa fetse se.
Yeah, sure.
Then David goes and the other rehearsal. I think we used to have a Saturday thing. Then he calls one of the lecturers wa music. She comes in. I don't know, Marco, another boy on the audition.
Yeah.
The other time.
Uh,
Okay, yeah, I remember you. And we've been looking for you.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, Joan. No, we had a discussion. Your thing was very unique, and it's funny that we're meeting like this because in their meeting as the lecturer, they were like they need someone who can play marimbas and teach. Teach. Teach wasn't scary because that's
You knew how to do it. Yeah.
we did it all the time,
Sure.
And I had already started a bit of repertoire. The guys and myself played for her. She's like, you know what? I don't know how, but we're going to get you in here. The dilemma is the M scores, our varsity entrance and stuff like that. So I had to push myself to balance my grades out. And then, fast tracking, I got into it. But the deal was that I have to teach. And Mudimu Usetamphile, a good team to work with.
Yeah.
Pusha performances. I later only understood that it was the first ever thing to happen in the music department, Davids.
Wow. That's historic, yeah.
So Raja Mara, we're busy each and every occasion, Yana, a dinner, a what presentation, a talk, the band is there. Our repertoire grew. We made it official to be the Vets Marimba band.
That is amazing.
But I'm amongst your talented musicians, man. There is a guy.
Yeah.
We're still in contact with the band. Alfred Kunutso, a percussionist. I didn't know how to play drums properly. This guy was sick, man. And his playing actually enhances my composition, my arrangement, It was the first time where I connected emotionally with the music that we were making, and gradually I also learned how to play the djembe. We were rock stars, man. The band started traveling.
Yeah, tell me about Mexico, man.
Hey, Mexico. Organized by a brother of ours in the band, Samora Nzebeza. We attended a Marimba festival.
That's
there are
next
such
level.
things.
Yeah, that's so next level, B.
Marimba festival, international Marimba festival in Chiapas, Mexico. I don't know what magic Samora worked there. We ended up there.
Yeah.
Funds, I don't know how they were raised. We ended up there. Got to Mexico. First time seeing this now on a hectic professional level. That there are people who are celebrities in Mexico for marimba play.
Wow.
We did this festival, performed, So initially, now I thought Raho showcase what we normally do on stage. A delegation from South Africa, musicians from South Africa, clap, clap, clap. And we were on a program. I think we were there for 2 weeks. Every third, fourth day, we moved to another city with our instruments, performing all over Mexico. You know, and I think that was the turning point for me, you know, because the agreement I'll teach and study was like, okay, that's maybe just something to subsidize fees and stuff like that, you know. But I was like, I can actually make this a career.
Yeah.
Came back to South Africa. Obviously now there's this tag to the band that we are the Vets Marimba band. Plus, we traveled to Budi, Mexico, you know. Did collaborations with the Stellenbosch University percussion department, you know. Did beautiful arrangements, the stuff on YouTube of us as the Sankofa Marimba band. We changed the name.
Okay.
Now, how does it, when people started getting older, Bafeta Skolo, you know, and I think they felt we need to detach from Wits and become our own entity, you know. And yeah, Sankofa Indigenous Marimba band. And then I get a call during those years. Now I'm employed by Wits. I'm a tutor. I get a call from a lady, Diana. Hi, I'm Diana. I'm from a school called Saheti. We're looking for a marimba teacher. Yeah, oh, okay. I halfway screw, halfway maturity.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm going. You know, get there. We talk. I remember it was a Tuesday. We talk for a good 30 minutes about what am I doing, you know, what my whole work entails. The next 30 minutes she says, okay, you are employed, the class is waiting for you downstairs. When you are done, your contract will be ready. First school that I teach. Go there now once a week. I think twice a week. Yeah, twice a week. After 2-3 months, a second call. A school down the road, St. Andrew's School for Girls.
Yeah.
We heard you were teaching there, and I think we did a performance or two. We heard your stuff. Can you assist us?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm doubling up now. An additional day. St. Andrew's School for Girls. So give it St. Andrew's Lisahit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know? I remember even telling my folks, my mother, I think I was young. I think I was 21, 22. I think I'm okay to try and fend for myself.
Cool.
I think I can pay for my own accommodation. I can take care of myself. Yeah, and now where I'm currently employed came up the same way.
Yeah.
Red Hill School. Get invited to a performance of, I think they had but again, maybe an arts thing, evening. I find a band playing. Now these kids are rocking, you know. The lady Elise Wolf says to me, says to the kids, "Hey, meet your marimba teacher."
Right there.
Right
there.
then and there. Gets in, and you know, this thing, come on, show us what you can do, kind of thing. The kids are playing, and one says, "Sir, you can play." Kids go crazy. Yo, 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 yo. Say, where have you been? What? Yeah, you know.
What trend is that?
Re sa tsebe le hore trending ke eng, my man, you know.
Dreamstream, a place to create yourself. Record video, music, and podcasts in our full service studio. Record video, music, and podcasts in our full service studio. Dreamstream, a place to create yourself.
Yeah, then Red Hill comes on board too. I have all these schools, you know. Now my biggest dilemma is that my studying takes a back seat because gas bad.
You booked and
Yeah,
busy.
man, gas bad. You know, I can afford things.
Yeah.
I can afford things, you know. But yeah, fast tracking, I chose Red Hill as my base school. I ended up having to drop my my founder Wits and concentrated on the private school.
I was about to say very upper echelon schools.
Yeah,
B.
when,
Yeah.
yeah, no, the Red Hillians are taking. The journey has been good.
And what's very cool is, yes, you know, you're a music educator. What keeps coming up though is the fact that you're also educating yourself. I mean, earlier on you were telling me about the association, you know, where there's other music educators. What is the importance of being a music educator, but at the same time still being at the foundation of educating yourself?
I think being or studying to be a music teacher, you know, assists you to align with the systems, you know, because I remember back then, I felt like because no one else is doing what I'm doing, I can just do it
Yeah.
whichever way I want.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And there was a point where it clashed, you know, because there are collaborations that you need to do within your department where now there's probably orchestras and choirs that want to do an item. And my approach to my kids is not that it's not directed to collaborative stuff, you know. So I think the importance of studying music as a musician and in your own capacity as whatever instrument you choose. The education side, especially if you choose to work with children, is important because you align yourself with the policies. Zaskolo, you know, you build on even bigger relations with the next school. You know, you can you that's the only way for you and other educators to speak the same language.
Sure.
You know.
Sure.
And you know, yeah, that's the main thing e re thusang e tlo go thusa motho who is talented in music, wants to get into the education space. You really need to consider taking a music teacher's course. Yeah.
Sure. And you've also performed with people. I mean, you've performed with really cool DJs and stuff. Who have you performed with, Philippine?
Back then, half groove, half majority guy. We used to go to Capello. Capello Newtown. Capello Newtown, I met, no, even before Capello. Ten and Tender, before it was the company that it is now.
Yeah.
Was like a pubish club ya the students in Braamfontein. That's where I met a very good friend of mine, Otobi. DJ
Oh
Otto
my
B.
goodness, he's an incredible DJ,
Yeah,
man.
you know, I met Otto B there. I don't know if you know Ponzo Mono. He calls himself Monotone.
Of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Monotone, Lugurutsi. Yeah, I met those guys there. Obramfontein. It was friendship, yes,
Mm.
Mari. There was a musical connection.
Mm.
Otto was a DJ.
Mm.
Bonso was studying sound engineering and working, I think, with SABC.
Mm.
Otto was the DJ. Yeah, I think a resident, Yaku and Tender.
Mm.
I don't know how this drumming percussion thing came about for me and Otto to do it together.
Mm.
I think linking it to Alfred Konutso from the Sankofa band,
Mm.
I thought I I thought I could.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I can play a few beats.
Mm.
No. Kila Mafra. Do you remember Kila Mafra?
No.
Kila Mafra was one of a veteran percussion and DJ guy.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing Kila Mafra doing this. One of those gigs back then. And we talked about it, Libo Auto, and I was like, nah, I think I can do this.
Yeah.
Gradi bongo drama, one of the
Sure.
I've learned them from vets. Reago Groovung, then go ten and tender, kibitz. Like, this thing is nice for them, you know.
Yeah.
I'm just playing rhythms according to what I'm hearing,
Sure.
you know. And then it became a bit of a tech team, Nyan and Nali Auto, wherever he got booked, depending on whatever they were paying. No, I don't even think I was doing it for money.
Mm.
I was excited by Hore. Okay, like I thought my musicianship
Yeah.
was Marimba based.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Hey.
Then he became a DJ go the Capello in Newtown
Mm.
and ended up being a resident. And we tagged along, and I would do odd performances with him.
Mm.
But now this Capello was rich in booking big names, you know. Yeah, your Glenzitos. There were a lot of other guys. DJ Claude, DJ Choice. So I always also became a bit of a resident percussionist. I always got those odd. No, Locx Mmileng.
That's so cool.
I remember 2010 was the top tier for me because those were the times where all the big DJs were booked.
Yeah.
And I was a half clash resident.
So who did you perform with during 2010? Because that was a big year
I
in this
remember,
country.
yeah, I remember a set in the afternoon. Opera Capello was by that new building under the bridge.
Yeah.
This afternoon, there's a whole lot of branding, and that square, there was a square just opposite Markets Theatre.
Okay, yes.
You could see it from the bridge.
Sure.
That was a busy junction yana too. I remember this one booking or performance, afternoon sunset. Glenn Zito is there. But Glenn was not very open to, sharing because he plays quality stuff
Yeah,
that
he does.
shouldn't be disturbed by anything.
Yeah, he doesn't compromise music.
Yeah.
Sure.
But I ended up joining his set there as well. And I used to have that video somewhere. I think that was the most memorable and epic performance of my life.
Sure. Sure.
And there were other big guys there, but respecting Bradlen and being allowed to be to share a set with him, Yeah, that's one of my epic ones. I did a few performances continuously as Otto, and his brand was growing.
Yeah.
I did a few performances with him.
They should invite you to Tequila again so that you guys do it for old time's sake.
But those guys are deep. As I said, Some sets, you don't want to touch it.
Sure,
You,
sure.
you just intake, you know. I did a very weird gig, le choice, DJ Choice, Kabelo ko in Zanzibar.
That's
Ko
cool.
Tanzania, Locx Tanzania. Ko Tanzania,
That's so
ko
cool.
the hub of indigenous African percussion.
Sure.
You know, yeah, those were the few moments. But my residency up until last year was with I don't know if you know Des James.
No.
Des, who you attended the Tequila Gang, not Tequila Gang, crate digging.
Yes, I did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Remember that was once a month thing.
Sure.
Yes. And le teng re tshameka mona ke itse o dlala meropo mfeaturela
Yeah.
le zwakala, you know. Did my first thing, we like it. Then once, maybe after every 2 months, I would play with Des and whoever he booked, you know. Yeah, and big guys played there. I mean,
Sure.
if you want to see who was there, you can go. I think the page is still up
Yes,
on
it is.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, we still want it back.
Yeah. I
brothers.
don't like. They really need to
Yeah,
bring it back.
You were there.
I mean,
You experienced that thing,
yeah,
bruh,
yeah.
you know.
But look, I love the fact that you're a music teacher, but you're also very plugged in with music culture,
yeah.
and I feel like that's very, very important. Looking at the industry musically in South Africa, I feel like we've got the best music in the world.
Yeah.
Do you think that people should be more educated where music is concerned? I'm now talking about artists, popular artists.
Yeah.
And if yes, then what is the value in that, and how do you think it'll actually sort of transform the industry?
I think this has been spoken about, but not taken seriously.
Okay.
You know, as an artist, for example, a rapper, a DJ, a producer, you know, we are not. I'm not saying you need to have music understanding, ya go itse go bala music and stuff like that, but we can't undermine the fact that it is a business at the end of the day.
Yep.
And that's where a lot of our brothers and sisters go wrong. You know, by treat it as face value.
Yeah.
There is a music business course,
100%.
qualification. Wa para pura or amongst whatever else you chose in your music degree, you have music business.
Yeah.
That's the solution.
Yeah.
You know, and also it will also help you to be able to share your knowledge with others. Now when I am rapper, you can rap for yourself,
Yeah.
but you don't know how to communicate it and instill it in someone else. You can-
And even just across the board, I mean, even artist managers, you know, it's very important to get into
100%.
the system of being educated musically.
You know, and for it to grow and for you not to hold your God-given talents to yourself. And I always tell people this, I don't think music, how or talented as a trumpeter, you are meant to hold it to you. You know, why fiwa gore o tlo kgona go spread, you know, you're a seed. You know, so being educated in music is a tool.
Yep.
The safest tool, and it's credible. You know, yeah.
How lucrative is it to be a music educator?
I'm a specialist, and the advantage, yeah, ka ke gore, there's a handful of us who can teach marimbas. There's a lot who can play,
Yeah.
but who can teach?
Yeah.
Is there's a line there, you know. Being lucrative is you knowing how to to manage your time, you know, and how well you teach. You know, there are books, scores, music, Marimba, tons out there.
Sure.
What I've picked up is that people will say, because I'm a pianist, I can read music. I want to take this book and teach it to bana, you know. But 10,000 people can read and do the same thing that you did, because it comes from this book.
Sure.
If you have the knowledge of reading it, but also being creative and knowing how to compose and change sounds, you know, there's a lot of freedom in marimba music. You can take any song and curate it the way we're now about.
For sure.
You know, and that's your drawing in card. Okay, we heard this school, but there's something about the way that school plays.
Yeah.
You know, and that's where now you attract a lot of business. At the end of the day, it is business.
It is business.
Because every school wants to sound different.
Yep.
You know, wants to stand out in a way. So it's lucrative if you know the approach and how we did it for fun. You know, I've somehow created a sound for myself to a point where if any one of the schools that I teach at or used to teach at, someone can identify her, that's a Locx.
That's very cool.
Yeah, that's a Locx Mmileng kind of arrangement.
Yeah.
You know.
That's very dope.
So it's very lucrative.
Okay. So we are out of time, you know, but I would like you to please give someone advice, because I feel like it's very important what you do. You know, music is a driving force. It's a driving force of culture.
For sure.
You know, and it's so important to also know, in terms of music education, if someone is interested in it, you know, or perhaps needs to learn about it, what advice would you give that person?
I think as an African child, ngwana kukasi, we need to break away from thinking music within school. The only music was choir. That's the only music we got exposed to, you know. And it's not attractive to you because anyone can do choir music, you know. Take it a bit more seriously to know that we are sought out. You know, they need a lot of an African child to play, to interpret music in an African way.
Yep.
You know, the industry unfortunately is flooded by Makhoa, Babarutang music, but they're all teaching it in the Western approach.
Sure.
You know, so we can't do it out by ourselves because Rebagana, you know. So if you feel and you know that you can play one or two instruments, that's fine. Even university is not the only option.
Yeah.
You know, you can teach yourself online.
Yep.
You can learn music online. You can go and study music in college, you know, and let us bring South African sound, South African culture back into our schools, you know.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming
For
through.
sure.
This has been so insightful, hey, and very intriguing. Because I'm just like, wow, man, like there's so many things I personally myself didn't also know, you know. So this is an educational platform. I've learned a lot, and I'm pretty sure that people who are watching or listening to this have as well. So thank you so much.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it so much.
The one and only Locx Mmileng, who is, of course, a marimba specialist, a percussionist. Make sure that you do subscribe. Make sure that you do review us on Apple Podcasts as well as on Spotify. If you would like to book the studio, all you got to do is send that important email. It is info@dreamstream.co.za. Kalina ke Nabusi, Baba Kulu, Baba Dese, Barakido Kuno Pitori, and we are outie.
Alala.